Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're out here once again in the streets of Dalston, cuts from the street. Today's topic is missing persons. Missing persons, a very serious topic today. We're going to speak to the people, see some of their opinions and their thoughts. Soldier?
Yes, sir. So what we're going to be basically telling our people or showing them through the scriptures on how we can prevent our daughters from missing. You know, we've had enough of this. You know, really, the whole community has had enough of it. It's about time we delve into the Bible and show them ways that we can prevent that. And the Bible has the solutions for us.
So with missing people, we have to figure out the reasons why some of our daughters go missing. What is the reason why it happens so often with mostly our people? So we need to figure out why this happens and have the solutions to get this sorted out.
Right, because it's not really being promoted throughout the, the media, the social media, from South London to East London. It's happening, so we came to see the minds of the people, what solutions they say they have, and bring the biblical solution to prevent this. So with that, it's cuts from the streets.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. This is Soldier Asher. We're out here in Dalston, Kingslands, cuts from the streets. The topic is missing persons. And I've got here with me my brother. What's your name, sir?
Rudy.
Sorry?
Rudy.
Rudy. Yeah. Brother Rudy with us here. All praise to the Most High. So now, Brother Rudy, why do you think there are so many missing persons?
There's lots of things, man. It's socially, you got to look at family background, you got to look at how the system's set up, and also who's mentoring our children. At the end of the day, it's also drugs. There's lots of factors there. But as a community, we've got to stick together and try and sort this thing out, because it's a sister, and anything could happen. Right. And this is happening to our younger children as well. So there's lots of factors there, but we all got to come around the table and try and get a program going which promotes this type of movement where we're trying to build connections with missing people, with people's on drugs. You see it every day. Fam, you know what I mean?
Right. I hear you.
Why are so many people in the UK go missing?
Well, I got my own theory on things, how crazy it might sound, but if a black person is dead, it's money for them. They'll just open you up and take out your body parts and do what they got to do. That's my take on it.
So you're saying one of the causes of missing people is for their organs, stealing to sell them?
One of the causes.
One of them.
Yeah, but people go missing, but if a black person go missing, no one gives a damn. If a boat sink off the English Channel, no one gives a damn. It's just money for them.
Sister, what's your name? Who am I with right now? Maureen. Right. So, Maureen, I'll just give you a quick statistic on missing people.
Okay.
Because a lot of people do go missing, in the streets of London.
Okay.
Did you know that in the UK, every 90 seconds, somebody is reported missing?
Oh, that's soulful.
Yeah?
That's soulful.
Is that a figure that you're quite surprised at, or?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
Why is that? Why are you quite surprised at that?
Because it's not really you don't really hear about it.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about it at all. That a lot of people go missing. Not that far anyway.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about it so much. So
of
I am
course.
surprised.
Yeah, yeah. And that is the thing. That's why we're out here today. We're trying to speak to people and, you know, build up the awareness. People are going missing at the end of the day. And it's something that isn't being spoken about. So in order to try and find a solution, of course, we need to know what the issue is, right? So why do you think people end up going missing? Like, how do people go missing in the first place?
Sometimes it's family problems.
Mm-hmm.
Many times they're running away from violence.
Yeah.
They're being neglected.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't get along with their parents or family or something. Maybe that's the reason.
Right.
Sometimes it's an abduction.
Adoption.
Sometimes an abduction.
Abduction. Yes.
But I think most teenagers, it could be they've got family problems.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the mums or dads throw them out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be part of it.
Why do you think there's so many people missing, sir?
Partly to do with irresponsible parents. Partly to do with the way how the system is designed in a way where parents don't have no rights over their kids.
Right.
Once they reach puberty, I suppose, they go out and come in when they like. You tell the police they're not too bothered about them. They just tell you they'll come back home, and on quite a few occasions they do not come back home. And I just think it's really sad that people are having kids and they're not ready to have kids. They're not mature enough to, they're not committed to take care of kids. That's my opinion, and I think it's a tragic, because kids need both their parents' support. Unfortunately, a lot of the time parents they don't respect each other and they don't respect the kids, and the kids suffer for it.
Right.
Hey everyone, this is Duel. We're here in Dalston and I'm here with
Tracy.
So Tracy, I know we've been speaking just a brief bit, and obviously the topic that we're going over today is missing people.
Yeah.
And something that you actually brought up was your experience of missing people. So it'll be great to actually ask you, what do you think about what's happening with missing peoples across the UK?
Well, I don't know if it's changed that much, because since 1979, 1980, I was in a children's home in Sheffield, Eastcliff Children's Home.
Okay.
And I was brought down to London by a group of people and forced into things that a young girl shouldn't have gone through.
Wow.
But I was surprised to find out, because I was near my 16th birthday.
Yeah.
They didn't even report me missing to the police, and no one was looking for me. I was down here thinking, I'll be found soon. But none of that happened.
No. Wow.
And it was South Yorkshire Police, and they had a history of not believing young girls when they said things had happened to them. Because in the Bradford cases, where a lot of young girls were trafficked by Asian gangs, then nothing was ever done. No, the police would just see them as being troublesome rather than needing help.
Okay,
So
I
don't
see.
think that if that happened back when I was young, and
It's probably happening today.
something needs to be done about it. Young people need to be believed, and there needs to be a lot more support.
Hey, from one of the things that you mentioned in there, you said, so many reasons, including things like drugs and stuff like that, right? So now, when you think about the community as a whole, the so-called black community, right? And you think about how we bring up our children, right? When we bring up our children, the way we bring up our children, would you say that is something that contributes to these children of ours, like the sister that you mentioned, missing?
Yeah, that's paramount. I mean, if the family unit's not together, once it breaks up, then that individual would now come accustomed to street life. So the family is the foundation, so that's important.
Right.
As well as the culture. But there's lots of aspects to this. At the end of the day, the family is the foundation.
Right.
If the family breaks up, everything else around it's going to break up. And the chances are, this is where you're going to get attracted to drugs, prostitution, and whatever next. You got to have food to live, right? You got to have water to drink. So if these things are not out there, where we can actually say, okay, I've got somewhere to live, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a good loving family. Right. The chances are you're going to get mixed up in street life, level crime, prostitution, you name it. I mean, this is worldwide. This is not just in London. This is worldwide, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the fact that you guys are doing this interview, and hopefully we can promote a bigger program where we can actually have a room. I'm a youth worker. I've been a youth worker for 24 years. Right. I know the thing. I don't think like I'm just one of those guys walk past and just. I'm not like that. I'm on the right knowledge tip as well. So it's good to see you guys out here doing your stuff, man. I'll support you guys where I can. If you guys got any information or a card or outlet, I can link you guys on, no problem. I'll take one of your leaflets.
All praise.
Contact numbers.
Excellent.
But it's basically, the key word is the family foundation. Once that breaks, if you haven't got good people around you, good sets of people, you can see the community as it is. To me, as a community, we need to be more together. We're split up. Religion's one of the key things why we're split up.
Right.
We will go our separate ways, and then when something bad happens, everyone's marching. But we've got to stay together. I mean, other entities do that. Why aren't we doing it? It's because of lots of factors. How we've been brought up, culture, background, everything plans. You've got to remember, this is a system. We're passing through this system. It's not even for us.
Right.
So we're just passing through China, law-abiding, and doing what's right for us.
Okay.
Yeah, race first, you know what I'm saying? If we get ourselves sorted out first, then everything else won't matter, bro. We can do just the same as any other races do tenfold. It's just about the history speaks for itself. You can see how we've been indoctrinated. Now we're trying to regroup as trying to find our own identity as like who we are. So that struggle still continues, because look, you had the George Floyd a couple of months ago and people are still looting up the place. People are tearing down statues, etc. And you think, well, when's it going to stop? At the end of the day, we have to have a common base, ground, where this is the angle where we have to follow. It's education, but we got to like the touch paper. Since Malcolm X, Garvey's, all those people are gone now. Who's lighting the touch paper? You guys lighting the touch paper.
That's what we're doing right now.
You guys are trying to carry the fight. So at the end of the day, respect due to the ancestors looking down at you guys.
Right.
You're fighting the fight, man. That's what we've got to do.
All praises. You said a lot. You mentioned prostitution as well, being another reason why what could be leading our daughters to eventually getting missing. I'm going to give you some stats, right? Every 90 seconds, someone is reported missing in the UK. And you know, I'm sure you know, that majority of those people missing are of our own people, the so-called blacks, right?
Yeah.
Now, 180,000 people are reported in terms of missing every single year. 340,000 incidents relating to missing people, is out there, on a yearly basis. You see what I'm saying?
Statistic.
So that is crazy, isn't it? In terms of statistics.
Around about right.
Right.
This is worldwide, but like I said, at the end of the day, this is one of the fights we got to face reality. This is happening as we walk the streets, as we pay our bills, as we do what we got to do, and as the community is strong and locked into this, we can do something we can impact on that.
That's a heavy point. You said when black people go missing, people don't give a damn. But what's the root causes? Because for their organs is one reason. What else?
No one cares about us. They're on this earth, these people there, to destruct the nation. They don't care about us. We are slaves to them. If you look in all the shops, we are still slaves. All the gambling shops is full of black people. We are slaves. At the end of the day, no one gives a damn about us. That's in my opinion.
Right, so your main point is that this society don't really care about our people.
Absolutely. Well, in this England, in this Western society, they don't give a damn about us whatsoever.
Okay, so you're saying the main cause for people running away, especially you was talking about sort of the younger people, their parents throwing them out, is a breakdown in the family structure. That's what you're saying?
Well, possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my next question would be, we know the issues, right? What do you think we as a people could do in order to help stop people going missing? Because you said there was a breakdown in the family structure and stuff like that. What do you think we could do, right, in order to stop people going missing?
Well, talk to people. Maybe if there's a family crisis, maybe the parents could come together, maybe just discuss what's a solution, maybe.
Yeah.
Solve the problem. Maybe something I can think of.
Yeah. That's all you can think of?
Yeah, mainly. Just maybe someone.
Okay.
Maybe there's a problem. Someone finds it. Just speak to the family.
Yeah.
So we can solve it. That's what I can think of, really.
For this lady. Police had a history of this, not looking out for young people in care. They just saw them as being troublesome or running away, and they weren't. A lot of the time, stuff happened and they couldn't even talk to people about.
Wow. And in the case of people that are missing, what do you think needs to be done to help out in situations like this?
I think there needs to be teams of people actually going out on the street at night looking for them. Not necessarily the police always, because
obviously
the police can't be trusted sometimes, especially when it comes to black people. I'm sorry, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've dated black guys and I've seen what they've gone through.
So
it's not like what white guys go through.
Yeah,
I
so
think it's a race issue as well.
yeah, and one thing that I was going to ask is, so do you think we should now have a better community that actually comes together
And look out for each other more, yeah.
Yep.
When I was little, we used to leave our front door open or a key under the mat.
And no
Can't
one-
do that now.
So now we've got we've highlighted all the problems, right? What's the solution?
I reckon education in schools from day one.
Education, right?
Yeah, to teach them the truth where black people come from and black people's achievements. So everybody knows we're not idiots.
And that's been a common for the last, we've been talking to a lot of people. That's been very common recently.
Yeah.
The education of the people.
Yeah. Stop wanting to be footballers.
Right.
Stop wanting to be
Basketball players, musicians, rappers.
and rappers and dancing and all that. Stop that.
Right. So you're saying it's about the education of the people. We have to show them where we really come from.
Yeah.
And that would
make
help.
them proud of themselves. And then everything will be all right. If if they don't want to give us a job, well, at least we know who we are.
Right. It's to build up that self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because that's also another reason why people decide to run away. They feel uncomfortable with themselves. They have that low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And
They can't see no future.
Right.
They can't see no role models.
So, of course, as you know, we had a conversation. We're a biblical organization, right? So we know that the solutions can be found in the Bible.
Okay.
Right? The solutions can be found in the Bible. So would you mind if we just got a couple of those solutions? Just read a couple things? Yeah, you're cool with that?
Me?
Yeah.
To me? Okay.
Just to show you a couple of the solutions, yeah? So,
Okay.
firstly, you spoke about a breakdown in the family structure.
That's one possibility.
That's one possibility, exactly. And the Bible gives us a solution to how we can prevent people going missing through a breakdown in the family structure, because a lot of the time, especially in the black community in particular, right, there is no marriage. The black community is the only community in the UK where there are more single parent households.
Oh, well, I know about that.
Right, than married coupled households. And you can see that on the Office of National Statistics website, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to give the solution of getting married of the that the Bible subscribes. So let's get that. You know what I want in Hebrews 13 and verse 4. So listen to this, sister, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go soon though, yeah?
Marriage, Hebrews 13:4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
So it says marriage is honorable in all, because when you have a brother and sister and they get married, there's more stability.
Yeah.
So, when they have a good relationship, everything's going strong, guess what? The children, they grow up more stable. So that helps prevent things like mental health issues, them getting mixed up in the wrong crowd. Because a lot of the time you have the young men, right? When there's not a father in the household,
I know.
their role model is the gangman on the street.
Oh man, that's not good.
So then they get mixed up in the drugs and all of that. Now they're in debt. Now they owe some drug dealer money, and then now they're getting kidnapped.
Oh well, no. Oh,
you understand?
Man, that's awful.
And that's what a lot of the times that is what's happening. And then they do that to other people and stuff like that.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to get a few scriptures. All right. So we're going to start with, get me the book of Proverbs 22, verse 6. Let's start with that. Because when it comes to our daughters, you mentioned it. It's about how we raise them up. It's about time that we teach them exactly how to walk. That single parent household is not really the way. The way forward is marriage. We're going to go into that as well. But let's start with, the book of Proverbs 22, verse 6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
You hear that, sir? Train up a child in the way he should walk, right? So that's one thing that our community, as a whole, we've been missing that. Yes, we have, single fathers and single mothers households. That's not really truly the way. It will be easier if there is a father and a mother in the house that will be able to raise up the child truly according to this scripture, which is our book, believe it or not.
Psalm 78:5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children.
So there was a law and a testimony that was meant to be made known unto our children. There's been a disconnect in society with our laws being taught. It's not being taught because it's meant to be a generation thing. You're, as an elder, is supposed to teach the youth, and then it's meant to be a continued cycle, but there's been a disconnect. Like you said, that miseducation. We need to start educating our people, giving them that high self-esteem to make them proud of themselves, right? Read on.
That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
See, that's meant to be a continuous thing. There should be no stop from the teaching.
I believe so, but everything is mash up. Everything is mash up.
I mean, for example, for our sisters to be missing, there has to be another side of the story. The people who are taking advantage of our sisters.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Do we have a way to be able to figure out the characteristics of these people that are taking advantage of our sisters and eventually making them go missing? Can I get scripture, please? Get me 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to read down to verse 6. I'm going to try and pick out some points on the characteristics of the people that are taking advantage. They're on the other side that are taking advantage of our sisters and, being responsible for them eventually missing. All right? Read that.
Chapter 2?
3.
Chapter 3.
Verse 1.
Okay, the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
This is a perilous time that we're in because we are having a whole lot of our people missing. That is perilous times indeed. Read.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
There are some men who are out there just literally lurking. They're looking for a sister that's dressed scantily so that they can take advantage of them. Then they go missing. They become sex slaves. Then after that, we don't know what they do with them. Whether they kill them and dispose of their body. We don't know. Right? Read on.
Covetous.
Right?
Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. Disobedient to parents. Unthankful. Unholy. Without natural affection.
Again, without natural affection. You have a 40-year-old man and wanting to, to have sex with a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old.
Yeah.
When the age of marriage, according to the Bible, is 20 years old. Well, what have you got to do having to, be lusting over a young girl? The girl that we showed in the picture today, she was only probably about 14, 15 years old.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But unfortunately, the history is very dirty. You see, it's history repeats itself. As far as I'm concerned, it's something that's been going on for centuries. And look how we got here. So, I don't agree with it. It's nasty. It's evil, but it's an ongoing thing. It's been going on for hundreds of years.
And guess what?
Maybe thousands.
That's what we're reading.
There's nothing. No.
We are uncovering those things that were written years and years and years.
Unfortunately, it's
that we could, if we had read this, we wouldn't have been in a position where we let our sisters to be allowed to fall into traps of these men that are definitely evil in what they do. Read on.
Truth breakers. False accusers. Incontinent. Fierce. Despisers of those that are good.
Remember, this is things that will happen in the last days. These perilous times that we're in today, that is happening. We're going to have men and women, by the way, it's not just men and women, that are going to be evil and doing these evil things. Read on.
Traitors, hardy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. You have pedophilia.
No, that's wrong.
In our community. That's is wrong,
evil,
isn't
that's
it?
Evil. That's evil. That's wickedness. That's the devil. Pedophilia. As far as I'm concerned, that's evil.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they say, it's a baby, they have a mind of their own. They could.
No.
Do you love me? You know what I'm saying? They start, saying things like, if a baby can say, I love you, that means yes. Truly, they really mean what they say. That's a baby, that's a child. You see what I'm saying? Read on.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof.
Right.
For such turn away.
For such turn away. Keep your daughters away from people like that. Dress your daughters up so that they don't attract those negative attentions.
Yeah.
Those characteristics of those bad men and women that we've read.
Yeah.
Those you should make sure that your daughters stay away from them.
I totally agree with you, but with the technology and all that, the mobile phones and all that, it's beyond parents' reach what the kids are getting up to behind the back.
Once you start something which is positive, it has to transcend on.
Right.
And those who want to be uplifted, those who want to live the moral, the respectful way, they would listen to all of this stuff.
There you go.
I'm not going to knock it because at the end of the day, once we got lots of issues, and if we start to kickstart with the issues which we're dealing with and addressing, and that's gonna make the gateway open to say, well, hey, these guys are on it. There's loads of stuff happening with us as a community.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I respect everything you guys are doing.
All praise to the Most High.
Support you guys. I'll grab a leaflet, and hopefully we can maybe make a better bond. You know what I'm saying? I know people's on this. I know a couple of people do the same things what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
it's
But
good to-
what we're doing is we're offering the real solution, which is biblical.
And you know, the Bible tells us that we should not kidnap.
Oh my God.
The Bible tells us that we should not kidnap. There's actually a judgment for kidnapping, right? Let's get that. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Yeah?
Go soon now.
Yeah, just last couple. Let's read that.
Exodus 21 and 16.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Right, so that, obviously we're under grace now, we have some mercy, but that's the judgment. It says if you steal a man, meaning you kidnap somebody for whatever reason, it could be for sex trafficking of the young girls.
Yeah.
It could be for gang rivalry, you know, trying to seek vengeance for another crime that went on. It could be for, you know, a lot of the time what we have now is organ stealing. That's even happening. Putting people in the back of a van and stealing their organs and selling them. It says if you steal a man and sell him, the judgment is that you will surely be put to death. So that obviously means that stealing people is something that we shouldn't be doing. Right? We should not be doing. We should not be doing no kidnapping, because that's how a lot of people are going missing. Now, we're going to go on one last final scripture to one of the solutions of what we can do. So I want Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. Because a lot of the time, when people do go missing, a lot of the time people see the appeals and they know where somebody is, but they don't say anything.
You know, see no evil.
Yeah, see, exactly. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, right? They don't want to know about it. So we're just going to give one final solution about what we can do to try and help the situation of people going missing. Let's read that.
Leviticus 5 and 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or know of it.
Pause. It says, if a soul sin. So if you know something evil's gone on and you've seen it with your own eyes, or you know of it, maybe you've heard it on social media, or maybe a family member told you, or one of your friends, right? Read on.
If he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
If you don't say anything, then that's on you. Because imagine, say I went missing, right? And this brother here, he knew about it. And he knew who kidnapped me or whatever. And he didn't tell anybody. Whatever happens to me now, that's on him. Because he could have prevented it.
Yeah, okay.
Or he could have helped me get me out of that situation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he knows that I'm battling with a drug situation, if he doesn't speak to the right people to get me help, that's on him, because he could have prevented it. So essentially, that's what we have to do as a community. We have to start looking after one another's well-being. It's not enough just to say, I don't really know him. We only care when it's our direct family members or friends. That's how we can stop a lot of people going missing, because we'll see the signs. We'll see, okay, something about them is not quite right. Maybe I should speak to somebody.
Do you have anything else to, say to the people?
Keep educating yourself, and wish everybody the best, and hopefully everybody get what they're looking for, if it's peace and love that they're interested in.
All right.
You see, if only we knew who we were, we won't be in this mess. You see, it's just true to what took place years ago. Everyone's playing catch up now. But it's through right knowledge we're only going to find the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been misguided, the system is not ready for us anyway. And we have to get back to black. So, let's do this. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's where you go right. All right, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. So basically, cuts from the streets, Dawson, Kingsland. The topic has been missing persons today. And we've interviewed our people, and we got several responses from them, which is very good. We've been able to identify the problem as to why our people are missing, and also being able to delve into the solutions from the Bible, because that's where our solution should always come from. All right, soldier?
Yeah, I think something that I identified that the people were saying is the family structure needs looking at, because when you have a weak family structure, that's when problems arise, mental health issues and all these different things, not looking after the kids properly, and that's how kids end up going missing. So definitely the solution to that, as we know, Hebrews 13 and 4 is marriage.
And one thing that we also have to remember is a lot of these reasons why a lot of our missing sisters go missing is obviously because of what's happening in the houses. Right, you understand? A lot of times, most of these parents are not teaching their kids anything to do with commandments, anything to keep themselves dignified. The clothing that they wear allows predators to get to these people. So we need to find a way to stop this by teaching our children the commandments.
Right, and with the guy that I spoke to, you know, he mentioned it's about educating our people properly, building up their self-esteem, making them proud of themselves. You know, and that's what the Bible has to offer, but we don't really get this in the churches or in the community, you know. So these are the things that we're lacking from South London to East London. Our people are going missing. It's not being promoted throughout the news and social media. So that's why we came out here to see what we can do for our people, what they thought the solution was, and what the Bible has to offer for us. All right, so I just want to finish off with one scripture. Give me Leviticus chapter 5 verse 1. Because, you know, if you hear about anything going on pertaining to missing people, if you see anyone being kidnapped, okay, this is something that the Bible says that we must do. We have to apply this. Read that.
So Leviticus 5:1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
So the Bible said if you hear the voice of swearing, if you see iniquity, if you see sin, or you hear of it, you have to utter, you have to make it known, you have to call the proper authorities to deal with the matter. It's the time of being quiet and letting things pass is done. We have to stop this, okay? And that's one of the solutions for our people, okay? So we came out here to Dawson to bring this awareness, bring the solution, and that's cuts from the streets.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.